trying to get me on here. There we go. It says I'm still hosting Hammy. Oh, there I go. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm trying a new setup. I now have 2 monitors, and I'm giving it my best to figure out if I can make it work, because it's probably going to be difficult for me because I have trouble. Let's see. I'm trying to pop out my chat. Huh. It lets me pop out the chat for other people, but not for myself. Switching on my settings. Oh, here we go. Boom. And there it is. Now what I have to do is let you all know that I'm streaming, as per the usual. This is not easy to remember, like what I have in what place, but today's going to be a fun build, because today's going to be a fun build, and it's going to be a fun visiting day, because we are going to look at homes from DDA, that Divine Design Alliance, that are things we are thankful for. I didn't get to do mine, but we'll talk about mine too, but just not this second. We will first spam everybody with the fact that I am streaming, because it doesn't do it automatically. I wish it did. Isn't this the most fascinating portion of my stream? The beginning, when I start telling everybody that I'm streaming, because I know, yeah, I know it's fascinating. And War Hamster. Okay, and we're gonna do a shout out for Mr. Hamster, because Mr. Hamster is awesome. Oops. Yes, I did see he bought another house. I am trying to get everything set up just right, which is not really something I'm good at. Hey, Delicia. All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to shout out to Hammy. So that when people watch later, they will be able to see that the great War Hamster is a great guy. Vincent challenges. Okay. So let's do this. Hey, Palms, how are you? I am going to show you guys what there are DDA homes today. There are some beautiful DDA homes that are things we are thankful for. So that is what I'm going to start with. Sorry about me looking on the side here. I'm trying to get this right, and it's hard to do. The resolution stuff is just weird. There we go. That should work. Yes, happy Sunday. Okay, so we're going to do some DDA stuff, but first I had to drop off all this crap. And then I was going to show you the next step on one of my homes, but the first step is going to be removing everything in my Hall of the Lunar Champion, which I'm not happy about. I really didn't want to do that. Yeah, they are lovely. What I liked about them is that in most of them, you could guess what they were. You know, like this person, I know there's one of them that I was like, oh, this is obviously a person who is thankful for thankful for books, reading. So that one was pretty obvious. I finished my hammer death. I'm going to show y'all one thing. This is my Thanksgiving build. And I want to show you the one thing, which is something I made at the request of someone else, but it's really funny if you get the joke. The second thing is the atrocity that is my makeup today is because of Lady Gaga, and I blame her completely. She sells this set of stickers that are supposed to make perfect cat eyes, and it comes with a pen, an eyeliner pen, and it is terrible. It is honestly terrible. I will never buy another thing from them. So this is what I made. I hope you all get it. This is my tribute to the meme that goes around Thanksgiving. It's a little hand turkey with feathers. Oh, didn't show all the feathers. There we go. Aw, it all depends on what angle you're at. That sucks. There we go. So, if you guys get it, that's hilarious to me. But this house is done. This house is done. So next we go. We're going to start off with... There are no randos today. I didn't see any new people's house. Thanks, Ixie. I'm glad somebody got it. I'm looking over here because I have my list. Which kitty is crying? Excuse me a moment. What? Which kitty is crying? You alright? Oh, dear God. That was my cat informing me that he went to the bathroom. Cats. Aren't they lovely? Alright. Alec Mazur, Gardner. I'm like, seriously, dude? You're gonna tell me you pooped? Do I really have to know that you pooped? Cats. That's all I can say is cats. So yeah, there were no add-on, like, randoms today. I saw one or two houses, but I am going to tour probably Hammy's house at some point. And he did actually do a new home, shockingly enough. We've been talking about this, and we're all kind of shocked that he went through with it. He bought his first home and he decorated it, and then he actually wanted to do another one. So he's doing the housing vibe. So good for him. I'm happy to think that he's doing that. I'm blind as a bat. I should not be doing the stream chat over there. In fact, I don't think I will. Sorry, but I like stream chat right in front of me. So I want to thank people for the follows. Mal500, Sky Andy 2000, Mr. Dude Guide Sir, and Deviant Fish. All of you except for Mal got presents from me. I don't think Mal is on NA. So this is Alec Mazur's What are you thankful for? Contest entry into the DDA Divine Design Alliance contest. And I'm not going to show you all of these, but I'm going to show you most because not a lot of people entered because it was I think it was a difficult topic for people because showing what you're thankful for isn't easy. Sometimes you would think so, but now this is one of the best Thanksgiving Day spreads that I've really ever seen. It's not that the food is terribly creative. It's just that it's so well lit. By terribly creative, I mean they didn't cobble food together, but they used actual foods, you know. And I've been using these for yams anyway, so this works. Gravy works. All of these foods work. But I really like that they, you know, look at this. They put a little piece of bread next to each one. Now, this is a good house. I really enjoyed, I mean, the lighting is really pretty spectacular and well done. And it makes everything look so lively, right? And there's tons of food. I really like that. The dog even has some food. Yeah, it is pretty stunning. And I don't know if this is, what are they thankful for? Would be food, maybe. Family. You know, it's hard to show family when you don't. Hey, Milk Crate. Nice to meet you. Again, I think. I do a housing stream, and right now we're looking at entries into Divine Design Alliance's contest for what are you thankful for? And I'm personally trying to guess what this person is thankful for. No, oh God, bad puns. Bad pun. Anyway. So yeah, that I think the focus is right here on the food. There you go. Thanksgiving Day meal. Now let's go to Hammy's house. I actually don't know. Yes, you can role play, but not everyone does it, and typically you have to join a guild to role play. With other people, generally. We are not RPers. We are housing people. And we are looking at houses today. And this is, I'm going to open up Hammy's as well. Because I don't know if he knows, but I'm going to review his house. So, there. So I wanted to show you all. This is the real War Hamster's house. And, you know, this is a guy who did not want to decorate. This is a guy who felt like it wasn't something he'd be into. But look at this. I mean, this is really well done. And especially so when you consider that he did most of it while drunk. It's just kind of amazing. But I like what he did here with layering rugs. This is something I always encourage with 2 circles. These are 2 different rugs, but they layered them and it looks really good. And he's got everything so neatly set out. Well, you can play a werewolf too, if that's what you're into. Yes, you can do that. So yeah. That would be, you would want to, if you start a character, go play in Riften, because that's where you can get the werewolf change, and you can also get guilds that RP as that, because generally I don't. So I really like what he did here. You know, he made a very pretty house for somebody who's just starting out. Goodness. And this is Ravenhurst. And it seems like a place you would want to hang out. I don't know about you, but it's very well done. I too have a house, like just one house that is specifically supposed to look like a home. But we have, you know, generally not all of my houses look like a home. A lot of them look like different kinds of things. So this is pretty amazing. This is built up patio in the backyard. I'm actually really impressed, Hammy. I really am. This is great. And his little piggies over here. And bad naughty stuff going on over here. I don't even want to know. And also the use of the wisteria. He's got a really good eye. Now, this just shocks the heck out of me because, you know, this is somebody who didn't want to do any building and yet did such a lovely design. It's, like, really impressive. I am kind of shocked, but happy. You can open the door, you little derp. Anyway. All right, so let's go to the next one. Do you really need me to open that? Okay, you got it. This second one is Trass, Silent Magnifico. And my guess for this one was that Trass is thankful for books. And I think I was right. So we'll go there. Now, I don't know what all of these are, like what all of these are thankful for. Like that Alec Mazar's one was really good, but I couldn't tell you what he was thankful for. I'm assuming it's food or family. But the house I was going to do but didn't have time to do was I was going to have the voroplasm be Cancer, and then have a potato on a horse fighting it with a lance, and the potato was supposed to be me. But that would have been the whole build, and that's kind of lame. But there you go. That's what I was thinking of, and that's why I didn't go through with it. So Traspet used the House of the Silent Magnifico, which is often kind of boring, but I think she or he did a really good job. And some of these were hand placed. Like she or he told me, they told me that this is every book in the game is actually in this house. So they gathered every book in the game, and from the looks of it, hand placed each and every one. So that's some love right there. These are all hand placed. No EHT, it doesn't look like. It looks like this is just all. Yeah, no EHT. EHT. 400 out of 400 items in every book in the game. So if you ever want to read the lore, I guess you could come here. Oh, she or he put it up this way. That's really cool. So I'm pretty impressed with this. You know, it's pretty obvious from going here that is what this person is thankful for. It isn't always obvious, honestly. Okay. The next one I want to look at is, let's go to, we've looked at some of these, so I'm going to skip some. Let's go to Arion 26, Old Mistvale. I'm having trouble remembering exactly what they all looked like. But I think that Ocean Blades was a snug pod that we've been to that had the tree lady in it, and had like it was very much nature. There was the tree lady in the center, and then all sorts of plants and whatnot. So I think that their thankfulness is for nature, which is nice. The other one I'm not going to show you, but I'll tell you about is Kitty Travel did a Mara's Kiss, and Mara's Kiss was full of treasure. So maybe money, maybe treasure, literally. Your guess is as good as mine as to what that stood for. And then here we go. So this is Arion 26. Arion 26 is incredibly talented. Everything she makes is beautiful. I haven't found anything that she's ever made that was less than spectacular. Yes, it is. I'm thinking that perhaps she is thankful for autumn, maybe the bounty of autumn, because we've got piggies, we've got apple trees, and, that would be my guess if I had to guess, is that she is thankful for autumn. Or maybe she just likes gardens, who knows. Little crafting area. I love the colors. The colors are very autumnal. She also has the dangling moving lamps, which are my favorite. Movement and also light. All in one. And, harvesting here. Actually using this for what it's intended for, well, sort of, grain. I mean, I guess it's intended for Nern, but this can be Nern crux, but this could be seen as a mill of sorts. Little badger in there. We're not going to tour all of these because I know that generally people are touring them on their own, and I just wanted to look at a few of them. And then she redid the interior with entirely new skin, this is all brick from elsewhere. And I'm guessing this may be her entry if she's entering into the Thanksgiving feast contest, which is coming up. It's due on the 27th, so you still have time to whip together a feast and submit it to J. Hart Ellis. Just send him a mail. You can do it from either NA or EU, and I will be watching hopefully on the night when he goes through it. And you know, lots of modifications. Ariane is beyond talented. She's really got skills and deserves everything she wins. So this is just a lovely, lovely house. I'm trying to look at something real quick. I had taken some photographs yesterday, and I want to make sure. Oh, derp. That I hit the ones that I actually went to. All right, yes. So this, I think, is, oh, that's Glassed. I don't think Glassed entered. And this is Were. Neither one of them entered. Okay, whatever. We can do, actually, I want to show you how to do something real quick. We'll go to my Hall of the Lunar Champion. I have decided that I am going to do my Nutcracker Suite build in the Hall of the Lunar Champion instead of Old Mistvale. And the reason why I've decided that is because I don't like the amount of space that you have in front of you for Mistvale. It's so close. And I mean, really, one of the bigger properties would be better, but I'm running out of places that I can actually build stuff. So this was my Hall of the Lunar Champion. This is Dark Moons, and we're going to go into Light Moons, Bright Moons, and here we go, Bright Moons. Now it's going to pop in with all of the effects. Now what I want to do is I want to save this, and then I want to remove it. So what I'm going to do is go into EHT. Let me do that in such a way that we can learn how to do this together. We'll go into Housing Tools, and then I would do Select All. Yes, I want to select everything in the whole house. Now, something to note. This doesn't just capture the wing. It actually captures the entire house. So you're getting both rooms. And we're going to name it as Final Dark Moons 11. What's today's date? Something. Oh well. Final Dark Moons is good enough. I can't think of the date. So let's save that. Now, should anything ever happen and you need to, I apparently had previously saved a version where it was where I wanted it to be. And you could hit load and this would bring up the entire build and rebuild it for you. But what we're going to do here is we're going to go into copy paste, and I want to hit clear clipboard because I already had junk on it. Then we're going to do this. We're going to change to radius. I'm going to clear the selections. This is Essential Housing Tools, by the way, in case you aren't familiar with it. I don't think I'm in the right window. There. Select none. So just so you know, this is an add-on that I use that is very popular for a multitude of reasons, but some people use it for decor. Most people who use it for the saves and for building. Makes a lot of things simpler, but it's got a learning curve. So what we're going to do is select radius, and so you pick any item, and I'm going to expand the radius as far as I can to get everything into it. And then I hit the select button again, and it selected 167 items. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because I just want this room. I don't want the other room, the front room, to be removed because I don't need to remove it. I just want to remove these. So you go into copy paste, and you want to select copy selection. Copies all selected items to the clipboard and removes the items from your home, placing them back in your inventory. So it's going to pull all of those items back into my inventory right now. And I did this earlier today, but I accidentally selected all items in the house. So I would just want to do it by radius and have it select just the items in this section. Because what I'm going to do is, for the time being, I'm going to pop it down in a different house. Just so that it can exist, but it won't exist looking like this. I have a few empty houses, so, you know, and that way I can just move the build over whenever I want. I can bring it back if that's important to me. I have very few houses left that aren't, you know, already done. So it may be difficult to, I may have to buy a house just for this build. I may end up having to get the Moon Sugar Meadow eventually. But this build wasn't a winner anyway, so it doesn't bother me. So it's doing all the work for me. All this stuff is going into my inventory. If I didn't have enough room, it would give me an error. Boop, 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 boop. And it takes the FX off too, or it should have. It should have. Look, it missed a couple of things. So, for example, I wonder if that's where the other house is. Okay, so, hey, Deviant Fish. I saw your follow yesterday. Thank you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is... What? That's interesting. Okay, so I'm going to select all effects in this section. Actually, no, I won't. Let's go to another house. It's really easy to add effects later. So I've been trying to figure out which house I want to pop this into. But my best guess so far is Strident. Not Strident. Well, actually, it could be Strident. Let's do that. I have stuff in Strident, but I can pull that stuff out. There's no design in Strident. I thought about using Strident for the Nutcracker Sweet build, but I think it has the opposite problem of Mistveil, which is it's got too much space, and cutting off most of the space is going to be difficult. I'm being really boring today, but people want to watch building, so, you know, I'm giving them building. So, okay. One item in the house, and that is Izabi. So this is how you paste. Paste from inventory. Yes. And it's going to paste it, but it's going to paste it off in God knows where, because it's going to use the coordinates that it had in the other house. But we'll fix that. And it's going to look very odd, because obviously it wasn't intended for this house. It was intended for the lunar. But I really want to, save the build. I don't want to get rid of it. And maybe I'll put it back one day, who knows. I haven't put back the one build that I did of Telgalen, and I think I got rid of most of the furnishings. But I may eventually put it back. I'm not sure. But most of it was lost in a massive bug crash that I should have been doing backups of and didn't, because I suck. So this is one of the drawbacks, is it sometimes takes a while to do this. And I apologize. So I hope you guys have all of your raffles and whatnot for this evening. Which reminds me, I didn't give any money to certain. Oh, hold on, gotta write myself a note. Gotta buy tickets. And so that's going on. This will be much more interesting when I'm able to show you it. Instead of just standing here like an idiot. It takes a while. There were a lot of items. Okay, so there we go. And so we'll stand here. So I'll stand here. And now we change these items to bring to me. Let's see what happens. It's going to be weird. I can tell you that because, yeah. I mean, it clearly wasn't intended for this house. But who cares, right? All right. Actually, you know, it's not that bad. It's kind of weird. Kind of doesn't look complete almost. That's odd. I wonder what I left in there. I wonder if I left like half of the build in there. Okay, let's go back and see what happened. Why half of my build is missing. I'm pretty sure my radius probably wasn't big enough and it didn't cut everything I was supposed to cut. So we'll just do it again. Because we can do that and it won't mess up the cut that we already have. We just add to it. So this will be fun. I've never actually tried to do this before where I had an entire build and I just want to put it in another house. I've done little pieces, but I've never done a whole build. And the next thing that's coming up in DDA is the Eye of the Beholder. And that is a quest, I mean, that's a contest to do art of some sort. I haven't really gotten my head around what it is. I don't think they've really told us yet what we're supposed to do with that one. And then the next one from here is going, yeah, I did forget post it. That's kind of lame care. All right, so we'll just do it again. So select, and then we do radius, that's right. And then we select something, and boom. That should be more than enough. Hit it again. Go to copy paste. Yeah, let's clear this. And now cut and copy selection. I just realized what the problem is going to be is because I moved it custom, it's not going to be in the same place. But that's all right. I can figure that out later. And there it pulls everything back in. I should have marked the spot like where I was standing. That would have been better. That way I wouldn't have had this problem, but I didn't think to do it. I didn't think to do it. So let's go back to Trident and see if I can salvage what I've done. But it really isn't a big deal because I have everything saved. So close this. Trident. I'm really boring today. I'm so sorry. I feel bad showing off all of the houses for DDA, but I will go back to it. I just felt bad because I was thinking that other people are going to be streaming that stuff. And so my audience will be unfortunately exposed to it multiple times. So that sucks. Sorry about that, guys. But we'll see. I think I should show them to you, or I could show you some of the better mysterious houses that I found during the week for who knows why. Okay, here we go. All right, so let's pray, right? Let's pray this works. It probably won't, but all right. So you go into EHT, and then you hit copy paste, and then you say paste from inventory, and then it's going to plop it off into who knows where. Oh, look at the little ants! Can you guys see the ants crawling up the tree? That's awesome. This is not standard building. This is EHT, which is Essential Housing Tools. So don't think that this is what it's going to be like, because it really won't. Um, it will be a lot simpler. Like, there's a lot less going for it. But what can we say? Oh, it put it up there. Whatever, whatever. Don't care. So, in any event, it's all here. All of the items are here. All I have to do is cut and paste, and boom, I can have it back in the other house. I have it all saved. So now all these items are separated from, I won't sell them, I won't get rid of them or use them for other things. Now I want to go to my old Vistbale, and I'll show you. I'm just going to pick up everything there, but I'll show you the easy way to do that. Yeah, so this is not typical. Usually what people do when they start out is they basically just build a house that looks like a house. And that's great. That's a great way to start. I started with a chair, a table, and a candle. And that's all I had in one of the free apartments. And it was enough for me that I knew right then and there that I was going to get addicted. So these are just some of the materials I put aside for what I'm going to do. And so again, EHT, housing tools, we're going to select not radius this time. This time we can use all items. Copy paste. We want to clear the clipboard from what it had, and then cut and copy selection into my inventory. Actually, no, we want to do it differently than that. We can just change these items and put remove items, and then it'll put it into my inventory. The reason why I'm doing that is because I don't care where these items are in terms of, in relation to one another, because this isn't the build. This is just what I threw down. So we can do the same thing, but, just drop it off. But instead of that, what we're going to do next is go to another one of those houses so that I can be less boring. Now, a gender fox is a great human. And they did a house which is a gender fox's self-care. So I'm guessing that is what they are thankful for. And I'll show it to you because it's quite a nice little spa / bedroom / art room, So I liked it. And that'll be our next one, as soon as everything just gets picked up. I promise I'm going to eventually get this build done. I keep starting it over because I'm not happy with it. There's always something that's wrong with it for me, which is unusual. I'm not usually that picky. So let's go. But, whatever. A gender fox. I want to go to their Moonmirth. And this is a nice house. I liked this house. I tend to show a lot of the same stuff a lot of different things by the same people. And the reason for that is I tend to run in their circles. So, of course, I'm going to see their houses, and I'm going to find them to be, interesting because they're all into building. So it's rare for me to have someone completely different. So you might see the same people over and over, but I am trying to branch out. And if you want me to review your home, please go ahead and send me an in-game mail, and I will definitely come check it out, because that is, that's what I do, and I would love to be exposed to more people. So this is 191 out of 200 items and 12 out of 2,000 effects. I already signed in, so I'm not going to do it again. But let's get a little closer. This was called, if I remember, Gender Fox's. I don't know why it doesn't have the name, but it was self-care. But check it out, like a little tiny litter pan for this kitty, made out of potatoes and little pieces of bread in a planter. I just think it's really cute because, I mean, honestly, you would have a little litter pan. You wouldn't have the giant one. And then it's a bedroom with a bath. And look at that clever little put together cobbled sink there. Alinori pieces, all stuck together. And I think that's a Redarin incense thing right there. So, yeah, all the towels. You can take the hot bath. I think there's a book under the red. That's typical. That would be mine. All of the different paints. Or what is that? I actually don't know what that would be. What is that supposed to be? The colored things. Because I don't think that they're paint. Because she had a paint. She must have changed this since I saw it. Because she had a palette out. But it looks like she's using big paints instead now. But there was a palette. It's makeup. Because there was, I swear, there was a painter's palette here yesterday. And did they tell you that it was makeup? Because, like, I swear I saw, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. They prefer the pronoun they, so I'm trying to remind myself. Oh, okay. Okay. It's a palette. It's a makeup palette, but not an art palette. Okay. So the kitchen, which is also a lot of cobbles. Okay. All right. So then that's definitely makeup. Got it. I appreciate that, Palms. Some really cute cobbles that I haven't seen people do before. Like this bar here. I've never seen people put a dish towel hanging over a bar like this in front of the sink. I've never seen that happen. Somebody do that. So that's very creative. I like seeing new things that I haven't seen before. And I love this, using the fishing poles into the Kajiti ball of yarn, and it looks like somebody's knitting. And then some piece of paper fell on the floor. Everybody doing skooma, as you do. Refrigerator, it's probably a TV, and the computer, which I love, because look at the mouse. So this is great. This is a really nice house. Very simple at its base, but it's so complicated when you're talking about, the cobbling and whatnot. But if you're the kind of person, oh, and I should mention, the entire house is reskinned. So, this is not what the interior of Moonmirth normally looks like. Moonmirth normally has, wooden walls. Thanks for the follow. I'm going to write your name down, Swan Song. And then hopefully send you something. So, okay. So this is not what it looks like. It usually has wooden walls, but they reskinned it. And it made it a little smaller, but I think that's okay. And this is a good idea for people who want to start out for a new home. Like, I've been told recently that I do some of the stuff I do is a little too advanced. Some of the things I tour is more high-end, and I should be showing people simpler, easier ways to ease into things. And I will do my best to adapt to that. But sometimes it's difficult for me because my brain isn't there. I'm trying to remember what Twantle had. Twin arches. Twin arches is pretty small. Let's go there. So this again is, what are you thankful for? And it's only 9 people entered. And that's unfortunate, but I think given the holidays and everything, I think it's a really bad time to have contests, at least this many contests, because there's so many going on with different guilds having it. Some of them have New Life ones, some of them have Thanksgiving ones going. Um, J Heart's doing multiples this month, and DDA itself, the guild itself has its own. So it's hard to keep up and do all of them, if not impossible. It was burning me out for good, for serious. It's just too much. So I had to decide I wasn't going to do some of them, which is a bummer for me because I actually like building every contest, but I can't. This is 200 out of 200 items and some pretty outside gardening. Twantle is a talented builder. I consider her a friend of mine. And this is beautiful. Look at this. Oh, I love this game table. This is the Redguard game table, the really beautiful one. Isn't that nice? And I would expect that this may be Tawantle's entry into the Thanksgiving dinner. Not sure. But this is the real center point. Look at that. This beautiful garden. Maybe gardens. Maybe gardens are what she's thankful for. But I really like it. And then check this out. It's an upside down fireplace. She liked it better upside down and sunken into the ground. And you know what? I see it. I do like it better too. It's a little jarring to get used to because you're so used to seeing it the other way. But this is much more realistic and much prettier, and it elevates the fire instead of having it right flat on the ground. Lets you look directly at it. That's really nice. And all of the decorating with ivy up there. And just so you know, these don't have collision, so technically I could just walk right through them, but I like... It's a pain in the butt, and so what I've done when I need them to have collision is I'll bury like a clockwork grating in the middle. You can't see it, and then it has perfect collision, and you can walk on it if you need to. And this is the bedroom. So I am guessing that she is thankful for gardens and beautiful homes. That would be my guess. Who was the other one I wanted to look at? Lushora had a villa. And if I remember correctly, I wasn't quite sure what they're thankful for, but this will be the last one of that series that we'll look at. I guess I could have just thrown up one of my old houses up and said, I'm thankful for building or something, something easy, but I really wanted to take the challenge to heart. And for me, it would be getting over cancer, but I mean, it's really hard to show that in any way in ESO. I couldn't figure out a way. And so I was really kind of bummed out that I wasn't able to compete in the contest, but because it sounds like such a good idea. I don't know. So my tests came back and so far nothing's wrong with me, but I'm still on antibiotics and they're not working. I'm still sick. Still dealing with pain, but less pain than I was in. So things are slightly better. So we're looking at Grand Sijic, and this is a beautiful garden. If I remember correctly, I think Lushora may have used this house in another challenge, but changed it. Because I seem to remember this part of it being blocked off like this. This seems very familiar to me, but I could be just associating things together and being wrong. 10 effects, 700 to 700 items. Okay, I do. And, oh, this is what I thought. This was my theory on this house. My theory was they are thankful for light. And I mean, that's a legit thing to be thankful for. Because you start in, if you notice, There's things you can do in EHT now that makes it dark. So they have this darkness set. And then as you go further into the house, it gets lighter. See? So that's something you could do with essential housing tools. And so all these paintings are essential housing tools. This is a little library nook. Over here is a little training nook if you want to fight the precursor. And then you go inside, and this is, oh, I didn't even notice that last time. But you go inside, and this is what I mean about the light. I really think the light is the center of this build. Like these are all trophies, which is fine, but see, it seems like to me that the lit up items are always in the center. You know, it's like the light itself is the focal point, even though there's trophies next to them. There's achievements next to them, but the light is always there. So that could just be my interpretation. I mean, we all have probably our own interpretations that we can imply because she doesn't actually say, or she or he doesn't actually say anywhere. So this is that house, and that's what's going on for the moment. I have others that I can show you. I just haven't decided whether or not to build, because I get this feeling that I shouldn't. Not sure. But we'll do another one in this series that I was doing of tours that were ones that I haven't shown you before. Okay. And I keep skipping some of them for reasons, but I'll go back to them eventually. Let's do these content. Yeah! Oh, in fact, I'll show you Kitty Travels. Kitty Travel is a nice person, and I don't know them that well, but they've always been nice. So you go to Mara's Kiss. That's an apartment. And the theme behind this one is, what are you thankful for? And I think her or his answer is actually treasure. That's my guess, because I can't really figure out what else it is. You'll see what I mean. Which is something definitely to be, maybe it's money. Maybe it's supposed to stand for money is what I'm thinking. There we go. So this is what they are thankful for in an in-room. And this has 23 out of 30 items. They didn't even have to fill it up. And then 19 out of 2,000 effects. And I can tell you the effects are a lot of lighting. Also, these walls, you see these are not regular walls, they're effects. So I think that they used a lot of effects to fill out what is already a very shiny and pretty treasury kind of house. So that is what they value. So, it's not impossible to compete, on a teeny tiny level. I wasn't going to even show this house because I think I had already looked at it, but I'm glad that I did since you hadn't seen it. So yeah, this is this teeny house. I did an apartment. I can show you my apartment. And I think that's good to show, like, builds in small areas, especially ones that don't have a lot of effects. Like I have no effects in this house. This house was intended as part of a small house contest, an in-room contest. And so because of that, they didn't allow any effects. So this is effectless. And it's just it's my idea of, it didn't win, but lots of things of mine don't win. I don't care. But it's a cute little room. It didn't win up against other small apartments. So don't think that it was because it was a small apartment versus a big one. But I decided to make a little beach. And so I have a little beach going on here. And that's supposed to be, the sun and the sky. And you just sit here and you read a book, and there you go. So, small house. Don't need much. Some of us newbies would benefit from tours of smaller places and places with no. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying, Crimson. You're right. I am doing that. I am trying. I will try to stick to smaller places for a little while. I do have a bunch of them written down, so it's not that hard for me to show you. Boulder tree's pretty big, so let's skip that. Garden area is big. Grand Topol is big. Humble Mud is not big. So let's just show you Phaedra Thalassa's Humble Mud. This is a school, and if I remember correctly, this does not have effects, but I could be wrong. But I'm going to try to focus on the baby steps ones, because you know it's hard when you see these really advanced houses. Sometimes it can be really kind of daunting, but also it can be inspiring. So it's difficult for me to know where the line is. Phaedra Thalassa Humble Mud. I hope I spelled that right, because for some reason cut and paste isn't working. Am I gonna go? Nope. Karen can't spell. 2 L's. Now try. Yay! That's gonna work. Okay, so I believe that Phaedra Thalassa's this house, which was an entry in, I think, into, no, it was not an entry into it. What it was is I saw this house and it inspired me in a build. And see, you can be inspired by small houses. There's no reason why you can't be. And I ended up doing a riff on the build myself in my domus. So yeah, this is what I remember. So when you come into the house, there's 120 items in here. This is supposed to be a school. It's an astrology school. And you see, what if you look up, these are supposed to be planets. So they're learning about planets in a school. So the Argonians are looking up at the sky, and they're seeing planets in the sky, and presumably the teacher is teaching them something. So that's the portion that got me thinking. And then in the backyard is just a lovely little place for the students to sit. And this was, to me, look at it. It's so small. Not a lot of effects, if any. And yet, it inspired me. And it gave me ideas. So what I did with it was my Domus Frasticus, which is, because I never do anything simply because I'm insane, I actually did research into the actual astronomy of the area and of Nern, and it's the Aetherius and all of that. And so I ended up doing research into it. And once I figured it all out, I decided to do something similar to what Phaedra Thalassa did, which was hanging planets in the sky, but I wanted to identify them. So I will show you this without effects because it was intended to be shown with or without effects. So this was my school. I will show it to you without effects. And this was a school bell I made. So, you know, sometimes you just got to be creative and think about, how can I make something that I need? Like, what would a school have? Well, it would have a school bell. And so I put the bell here. Let me get the light up. I put the bell here, and then I just fiddled around until I came up with something that would work as a school bell. So there you go. And then you go inside. I didn't really build around back. In fact, I blocked it off. And so this was my school. No effects down here. This is all just a regular school. Like, if you were going to build a schoolhouse, this is what you would probably do, is just put all sorts of school things like, you know, pens and what on the table. So this is very simple. And then I have a griffin teaching the class because, you know, sure, Griffins teach. They're good teachers. And I have a sense of humor. So then you go upstairs, and this is what was inspired by Phaedra Thalassa. If you take a look at the sky, you see all these different items up here. Those are supposed to mimic the night sky of Nern. Plus, well, that's supposed to be Nern. Plus, it's supposed to, it actually is accurate to lore, but I'll show you with the effects. So all I did was put the sky over it, and then I labeled them so that if you came in here and you wanted to know where each of the planets are, this is how you would find out. You would just have names on them, but they don't need it. And the background of these terrariums is an effect, but it doesn't need it either. So you can just build houses with no effects. This idea I did not come up with. In fact, I think Grandma Gamer had them. Thank you, Purified Lizard. So yeah, this was the combination of a bunch of different people gave me these ideas, you know, because I look at a ton and a half of houses. So yeah, that's just labeled and not labeled. There you go. It still looks like what it's supposed to be, which is, you know, a teaching area. And that's the way, you know, it's very simple. So let me find another small one so we can look at small houses. Matissan is not small. We looked at a Moonmirth already, but we'll do another. We'll do Zendira's. I do so much Zendira, maybe not. Moonsugar's huge. Mornoth is not huge. Let's do Mornoth. Let's do Tyate's Mornoth. Mornoth is not tiny, but it's also not huge. So it's a regular sized house, and I don't think this has effects in it. So there we go. I'm just going to keep it simple for a while, but I also had somebody ask me to actually build a small house on screen, but I don't know how interesting that'll be, but I can try. I don't generally build houses, like houses anymore. They all typically have a theme to them. Just because I get bored just doing a house over and over and over when you have 33 plus houses. So this is Mornoth. This is Tyate's house. This is no effects, 362 out of 400 items. And the reason why I have you here is because I wrote down that it's just really beautiful. And Tyate did just a very nice job. And this is completely something that you all can do. My advice to the people starting out, use lots of trees. The more trees you have, the more realistic it looks. The more like you're going to be satisfied with the outlook. And you know, if you want to use floral ones, use floral ones. These you can buy in Oregon from the regular furnishing vendor. But, you know, any kind of tree will spiff up the outside and just make it look great. And so I guess Tyate has a little bedroom outside, you know, that you can rest when it's not raining. Yes, hedges also. Hedges and, you know, things like this. These are saplings. Saplings who are, this is a beautiful sapling because it's that, there's a couple of them that are autumn colored and this is one of them. And then Grandma Hibiscus can also be purchased from vendors, and they're pretty affordable. And then we'll go back downstairs where it should start. But this is the second floor of Mornoth outside. And lots of lighting. Street lamps are great. They help. Light is really important for any area, but especially the ones... I honestly just think that if you want to make a place look magical, add a lot of light. Light is really what it's all about. So we'll start downstairs. Okay, this is an orcish keep. So you're automatically off the bat dealing with stone. And stone is cold. It's cold looking. So you have to combat what is automatically cold looking. And what I always recommend is firelight, rugs, pillows, and things like that. Very textile based items. So as you come in, there's a rug, there's firelight. Firelight is the best kind of light to warm things up. And some textures. And here you go. It seems like all of the light in this house, yeah, almost all of it is firelight. So this is really key into making it feel warmer. And here you are with a rug, and if you're sitting here, I don't even think you would think about it being cold. But you also have pretty little saplings as plants. And did I not go on the other side? I don't think I went on the other side. Buckthorn as plants. Buckthorn is technically a tree in the game, but you can use them as plants because they're small. And this would be the bedroom and bath. So this is a very standard kind of house that you may start with. Lots of paintings. These paintings are 100 to 200 gold on any trader. They're cheap. You can put them up anywhere and they add a little something, and they're very, very affordable. So lights, you want to focus on lights and paintings and things like that. But also, like, what would you want in your home? Would you want a bathroom? Would you want a place to sit down and write? Would you want a library? What is it that matters to you in a home? And you can buy things for almost anything you can think of. And if not, you can make it. So this is Mornoth, and this is Tayate's Mornoth, and it's just a very pretty Mornoth. I like it a lot. Old Missville. I will show you the Crows, probably their Thanksgiving build in Old Missvale, but it's an open house, so I don't feel like I don't feel like I'm violating anything here by doing it. They're a good builder too. I can spell. Autumn Gate, Jungle House, and Blackfine Villa. Yes. Twin Arches. Homes like that. Cyrodiilic. Did I spell that wrong? I must have spelled that wrong. Okay, Omnivore. Thanks for the follow, Omnivore. I like the Cyrodiilic house better than Blackvine, and I'll tell you why. It's so simple and so stupid. Because it's right outside of Bendari, and nobody is ever in Bendari when I want to go there. And that's a good shopping area. I say that it's stupid because, as Palms' house would tell you, their Blackvine is gorgeous because I think she has a second floor where you can look out over the river. And that's something you can't do with Cyrodiilic, but for me, it's just I didn't do anything with Cyrodiilic anyway. It's just a storage house for me. So as long as it's convenient. This is the Kirkrow. This is their Old Missvale. I guess this is technically a big house, 600 out of 600, but for some reason I always think of the Nord and Breton houses as smaller. I don't know why. Maybe because they're a little simpler. Like in terms of architecture. They're a little bit easier to get your head around because they're straightforward. Whereas like, a bug house or a house with, a pod house or a mud house may be a little intimidating. So this is what I think is a Thanksgiving dinner by Kirkrow. I can't speak. But they've got a nice roast here and all sorts of yummy foods and, some blood, as you do. I mean, it looks like punch. It doesn't have to be blood. And then behind here you have, this is something easier to do than it looks. You just take two beds and you put them at an angle to one another, and suddenly you have a couch. And if you put more than one of them next to each other, you now have a sectional couch. Ah, thanks. This is a nice touch. People don't always put things down underneath the cabinets, so it's really, if you have the slots, why not? Why not? It makes it look more lived in. And they refloored it, it looks like, because this is not the standard wooden floor. And then the pantry. If you notice, like, everything is detailed in this house. 600 is 600 items, but everything looks lived in. And you don't always see that. Second floor, I wrote down that there is a shower that is really nice in this house. So let's see. Ah, here we go. So I guess I wouldn't call that a shower as much as I would call that a bathtub. So using a fountain and just making it. Oh, there is a shower. Here you go. This is the shower. Using a fountain. And this is the shower curtain, and you have a little built-in shower that they made out of just blocks. You can buy these blocks for like 100 gold a piece, and you make a shower out of them. So this is something that is doable as a starter. It may be a little intimidating, but here's my suggestion. Start simple and then add on. So if you want to have something simple that looks like a house, you know, pick a room, design it the way that you would have it. Don't try to be super ambitious. And then after you do that, you can add little touches that make it a little bit more special or whatever. I'm trying to find one that is a good example. Here, we'll look at this real quick. This is perhaps not super simple because of the fact that it's glowy, but ignore that. What I want you to pay attention to in ample in this house is the interior of the mud house, which is, it's a small house, and a way to start out, the way that I did start out, this house was actually remodeled at one point. I got sick of the way that I had it. But way it starts out is, what do you need in a mud house? You know? Well, we'll just ignore this for the moment because I wanted a garden that was a specific way, and I made it. But here's the interior of the Argonian house. What was important to me is a bed, storage, so I put those in here. So you got bed, put a little few touches like paper on top, storage, put some Argonian furnishings on top. Food is important, so you're going to want to have a place for them to eat. And this is all just optional, by the way. You don't have to do it this way. But the way that I like to tell people how to start is to pick what you need. You know, do you need a bathtub? Well, an Argonian would probably need a bathtub because, you know, they love the water, so build one. And this originally was a very simple tub. This was not elevated. It didn't have flowers or plants next to it. That's going to annoy the hell out of me. It didn't have any of that. So over time, when I got more ideas, I came back to the house and I changed the tub. You know, I elevated it and whatnot. Or my food was not this fancy, so to speak. I added more. You know, I added the fish. I added some additional items. So it's basically, as I grew as a builder and learned more things, I came back and did more things. But this is, at its base, is a very simple, typical house, and this is how you would build. Is just start out with what you need and go from there. I'm trying to find the next small one. It's amazing how many are huge. Wait, I think I did that one. Sisters of the Sand, maybe not. Sisters of the Sand's Thorn Feather. I don't think this has effects. I hope this explains at least somewhat how to get started. It can be really intimidating. So my suggestion is when you buy a first house, buy a smaller house. My suggestion would be maybe Sleek Creek, maybe. You know, it has a water feature, so it's nice. It has the ability to expand, and it's right by Rolka, which is a great city for shopping. So, and for crafting, it's all right there. So that would be where I would probably suggest you start. And you can build, you know, decorate the interior of your home the way that you would want your home in real life to look. Some of the ideas you can get are even from the loading screens. All right, this is Thornfeather. This is their Sisters of the Sand department, believe it or not. No effects here. 73 out of 100 items. So what they've done is they've incorporated the outside with the inside. And they did this. This is just a normal apartment. What they've done is, you know, they have the typical stuff I'm talking about. Here's the food. Here's a desk where you would sit and socialize, some storage. Here's your bed where you sleep. Here's where you get dressed. But then they brought the outside in. And the way they did that is they put a tree. You only have the rosy line, whatever, in the honking great mansion. Yeah. Yeah. Well, even with the rosy line, you can, it's limited, but you can do more with it than you might think. See, this is bringing the outside in, and by doing so, they have this granite rock in the background that they put over portion of the wall. Then lots of ivy, a huge tree, and some plants. And here you've brought the outside in to a little, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like a little microcosm. So I really like that. But talking about Sleek Creek, gosh, there's so many that have like completely redone their Sleek Creek. So it's hard for me to, maybe Delphinia hasn't yet. Delphinia kills me because she changes everything. My Sleek Creek is actually going to eventually not live because I'm going to kill it. Well, you don't have to sleep next to the tree, but I can see that somebody else wants to sleep next to the tree. That can be really nice. So this is Delphinia, hopefully. I have written down custom bar, sink, parlor, sauna. My Sleek Creek was a contest entry that was Charlotte's Web, so it's a barn. I like made the house underneath it into a barn, and then I have all the animals, and it says some pig and, you know, all that. The only daunting thing about Sleek Creek is the open space underneath the house. I was stumped on what to do with it until I added walls. You can do that, or you could do, see, the Delphinia did section it off like that, but the other thing you can do is just fill it all with trees and flowers. You know, I've seen some people do making it a crafting area. So they just have, you know, looks like Delphinia like did close off portions of it. But here she's got a cooking area underneath. And she created it, because Delphinia is Delphinia, she created an entire kitchen area, which is beautiful. But she made it out of, looks like Daedric platforms and clockwork panels. But don't think that you have to go this aggressively ambitious. You don't. What I'm trying to get at, though, is that it's a good starter. And this is where I have my barn, but she built a hair parlor in here. So even the ones I show you that are trying to be simple, they're not simple. Yeah, she did an amazing job. Delphinia has an eye. Now, here's an important thing to note. You can build out somewhat over the creek a little bit. And it's worth it because the view, when it's not raining, is beautiful. And you could just stand there and watch the view, and it's just stunning. The other thing is that if you build up from the rear here, you can go super high. So you can go way higher than this. You can go higher than the house. So if you wanted to keep building up, that would be how you do it, is you work from the back. But you can easily figure out where your ceilings are at just by using, either just by throwing planks up and walking up on them, or you could do it by using Magic Carpet, which is another one of the add-ons that Cardinal 5 does, and it lets you run around in the air. I can show you that at some point. But this is another portion. Now, this house is not broken up like this normally. Normally, there is no wall in between, but she built a wall because she wanted 2 rooms. So she's got, you know, this is another portion of the spa. Hey, Rawar. So this is portion of the spa, but then, and I've seen multiple people do this now, where they split up the front and the back so that they have 2 different entrances, but now they have 2 rooms instead of just 1, and now here she's built a sauna. See these? See these coals? When people are saying you can make money off of buying Kragenholm, what they're talking about is you buy Kragenholm, and I think Kragenholm's like 65K, if that. Then you get, not even furnished, hey Doobs, not even furnished, you get these coals. And then you can remove the coals and sell them from like 120 up, 1,000. So you actually can make money from buying Kragenholm and selling the coals. Alternatively, you can use the coals, but then you don't make money off of buying Kragenholm. So that's what you do. Secondly, what you should keep in mind is that, yeah, this whole place is so adorable. There is a contest coming up for Kragenholm that J. Hart Ellis is doing. So that market may get a little flooded. Not sure. Be careful. Now may not be the best time to invest in that. All right, let's go to SnugPod, which is like the perfect, here we go, Svart EU. Oh no, that's EU, derp. It's like the perfect small home to start with. It has a lot of slots, so you can do things with it. You could do a lot of things with it. That is coming up to the beginning of December, I think. December, like sometime in the first week of December. I forget when. Yeah, I haven't even started on yet. I don't, it's too many contests. I'm breaking over the amount of contests, and I'm not happy about it. I can't do them all, you know? And I want to do them all, but I can't do them all. People, rightly so, are telling me I'm crazy, though, that I shouldn't be trying to do them all. All right, so Kragenholm is, yes, Sunday, December 1st at 3 p.m. Eastern. Decorate your Kragenholm however you like. It's a great affordable home, so this should be very open. Prizes, top 6 most impressive homes will each get $200K on PCNA or PCEU. Send an in-game mail to J. Hart Ellis with which one. This is actually not my house. We're touring other people's homes. I have shown a few of mine, but this is mainly other people's homes because I'm trying to show people how to get started. And this is SnugPod, believe it or not. You see the walls? SnugPod is just one room. And it usually just looks like a pod. But the way that Avaken has changed it is by putting these carpets in, makes it feel like less of a pod and more of a normal Khajiit home. And so you think again about what I was telling you about, what do you need in your home? Yeah, it's just, it's too many contests. It's too many contests, and I've said that much, but I'm in the minority here of thinking that. So if you're buying a SnugPod, what do you need? You need an area for food. So you would build, you know, just throw some stuff down, put some food down, see how it works for you. And then, you know, maybe some place for doing some work. You would do some enchanting work. Maybe you'd write some letters. You'd throw your pack down by the door. And then where do you keep your linens, or where do you keep your items, show some things off. It's exactly that. And here's your bedroom, because Snug Pot is so small. Where are you going to keep everything? This is like a tiny house in a capsule. And Awaken has done a great job of making the most out of a tiny space. And they still have 20 more slots. So look at how full this looks, and it still has more slots available. So I would say that this is a good example of what you could do to start out with a small home. I hope that helps. There's not too many more. Tierna's sugar. The problem with Tierna's sugar bowl is I think it's actually fairly advanced. So I'll skip that. Twin Arches. Showed you. Velothi, Zanmir, Cold Harbor, Lynchel. Okay, so those are all really advanced ones, and there's nothing I can do about that. Why don't we end on a Christmas home? I will show you a Christmas home to give you ideas for the future. And this is a guild home, a guild I'm in, BBC. Yeah, this whole thing it's like that somebody looked at one of those small homes, like on the TV or on the internet, the ones like in Japan or something. I think they did that and then just kind of took ideas from it, because that's what it looks like to me. So this is Hyde's Hackfield. Hyde decorated this to be a Christmas home for his guild. And it's just really pretty, and they actually have, if you are interested in joining BBC, there's 1 and 2, and the guilds work together, and they actually have Christmas parties or New Life parties, and they have Halloween parties, and they give away trick-or-treats, and they give away Christmas presents, and it's very, it's a sweet community of people. I really like it. So the problem with Hackfields, though, is that it doesn't look like that to start with. BBC is Blackbriar or Bleak Rock. Yes. Or, yeah. So they have 2 different ones, 1 and 2. One is run by Hyde, whose house we're in. And the other one is run by Rayoskit, who I consider a friend of mine and is an amazing human. I don't know Hyde as well. So here we go. This is the house that Hyde built for the guild. And these are some really good ideas for decorating a larger tree, which I'm eventually going to have to do. But you have the bell-shaped incense. That works really well as bell ornaments. And then, obviously you can use pearls, you can use the balls of string. These are those floaters that they sell. I don't know. Let me see if I can figure it out. I'm gonna guess no. I can't tell, but I'm going to guess no. Because I think I see 2 trunks. Maybe I'm on crack, but I think that is more than 1 tree put together. But I don't know. Yeah, I see. Now, presents are easy to do, but easier than you might think. Just using containers, like even pillows look like wrapped presents. You can put together all sorts of presents and put them at the foot of your tree. So if you need ideas for that. Now, what I loved about this was there's 2 things here. These are sold just like this. They're with berries, and they look like holly. And these are sold on a vendor. You don't have to get them through Crown Store, so they're very affordable. And if you put them up, they just look like you have holly everywhere. Yeah. And then these. Okay, these are, I actually think, Crown Store, these red ones. But when you mix it together with the hosta, even without the hosta, it looks to me like poinsettia. But I think that with the hosta, it looks more like poinsettia. It like sets it off or something. I think I might have seen the red plant and it wouldn't have really registered if it didn't have the hosta in it. So I liked that. This is their meal. You know, here's the Christmas meal. Just a simple meal. Uh, Decoration that comes with the New Life set, which will come around again this year, and you'll be able to buy it if you didn't already get it. Little socializing areas, places for people in the guild to sit and chat, which they actually use. And then there's a piggy eating. So, and then booze, there's your bar, you know, here's your fire to keep place warm. Here's where the guild leaders sit and usually give things out or do stuff. Now, the outside of this has a really special treat, so I don't want to cheat you out of it, but I have a hard time finding the right way to go in Hackfields. Hackfields is very confusing to me. Courtyard. All right. I hope this is the right way. Yes. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? So there you go. If you want to build a Santa's reindeer, you need a few of those hanging deer. Make them look like they're not dead. And a cart. And you have Santa Claus. Santa Claus's, you know, sleigh. I've done this before with trees out topiary. You can buy these topiary very cheaply in Oregon, and then apples and candles. It's all you need to make them look like they're decorated. And then you don't have to spend crown items on them. Crowns on them. A little echater. I don't know why that's there, but it's nice. So this is a very charming place, yes. I was very impressed when I saw it, which is why I'm bringing y'all. Ha! I said that just to annoy my old professor. Y'all. So I don't really know what this all is, but I think that, yeah. Was that lettuce? I can't find it. I didn't even notice. Oh, it's lettuce and apples. Okay. Thank you for the follow, Suppifus. Suppifus 165. I'm going to send you all prezzies if I can. The snow. But then this area, yes, Doobat, exactly. This is where they make the toys. But it's not an area that I actually expected this house to contain. But look at this factory line. You can do this with those single bookshelves that move from Clockwork, and just putting them end to end makes them look like they're actually a factory floor. And that's awesome. You know, and each person is working on a different piece. And yeah, I think it is Santa's workshop. So I love it. I think it's great. So yeah, that's in little touches everywhere, like this tree, snow tree, and then the little things that came in the, these all came in the pack. Oh goodness. I didn't realize he built a train or a laser or something. I don't even know what this is supposed to be. Is somebody trying to kill Santa? Like, what is that? Hackfields is huge. Hackfields has two parts. It has this part of the house, and then it has this, the shrine. It is huge. So, plus, yeah. So here you go. You could also, if you wanted to, you could also decorate within this area, which is a second building in the house. And technically downstairs, when you first come in, it looks like this if you port to it. That's because this is all catacombs that some people do decorate. So this is an interesting place. But yeah, there's also a side entrance that is what we took up. So there you go. That is the, hey Nana, your timing is terrible. I was just going to call it. Um, I wanted to show you guys a nice Christmas house. And yeah, let me see something. I want to check to see if it's, yeah. I'm going to show you their current, BBC's current guild house, which is not the Christmas house yet. They change it. And then you'll get an idea of how Hyde and Rayo, but mostly Hyde, decorate. And then we'll just look at this real quick and then I'll call it. So this is their Lynchel. This is the guild house. So typically these guild houses are not just places to hang out, they're also crafting places, and they have, you know, transmute tables or whatever you need. Yeah, so I really liked this centerpiece with the BBC on it. I thought that was really nice. And so, yeah, remember these are two guilds combined. So they closed off the house because of the number of tables that have to be in any guild house these days. Because if you have all the sets, it's crazy how many sets you need to have now. Just a tremendous amount of sets. And I like the way they laid them out. Lots of sets. These are not standard with the house. They added those trellises. And the hedges help keep things, you know, closing pieces off that you can't use or don't want to use. I don't know if there's anything in here. Oh, just Ferrari. I probably would have put some sets in there if it were me. So yeah, all of those sets. And then the inside. You should just sell a factory home for sets. Wouldn't that be nice? They just don't care. They're jerks. They don't love us. And then this would be where you would go and get your marks or whatever the hell they're called. Transmute. All the dummies. And that's it. That's what you do. So it's a very useful but nicely laid out, very pretty guild house. And this is Mundus Stone, thank you. These are the standard, this is the standard house that they only change during the holidays. So there you go. All right, guys, I'm beat. I'm going to call it. And I will talk to you folks later, probably in game. And thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. Especially thanks for the follows. And I will try to send you all presents. So, bye. Thanks again.